Welcome back. A lot of you guys want this, and I'm gonna make an announcement. So that thing that you heard, the ticking, I'm not gonna do that anymore. It's just a hustle to pretty much play that while we're doing stuff. So yeah. But his eyes will still change. And I'm trying to think where we were last time. Give me a second. Okay, you can join me here. I think you guys like this song a lot, so I'm just gonna pretty much play this every time. So yeah, I'll add Miss Joink, and the ship's gonna be Froppy, I guess. So yeah, give me a second, I need to check where we were. Anyways, so yeah, we're gonna go to the entrance exam now. So let's begin. And Izuku has been actually hanging out with Asue more. And Izuku has a feeling around her. He doesn't know, but it's just strong. And he met up with Ida Todo, right, to go. And I'm pretty sure I said Momo was there too, so yeah. If I'm missing anyone, sorry. But yeah. And Izuku was just walking with them to the UA. And let's say that Izuku had cards and his fingers ready to go just in case he had to. And he always had 2 cards in his pocket, in like a coat pocket. And that was both of his jokers. Right? And he'll only use them if he needs to. So yeah. And yeah, hold on. And when they were walking, Izuki saw Uraka actually almost fall. And so he threw a card and it caught her. And she was shocked, and he said, "Sorry, I used my quirk, but you're about to fall." And he grabbed, and his card went back to him. And he put it back in his deck and walked off with everyone else. And Uraka was in shock, right? And she was thinking about Izuku, pretty much, because she blushed right away for Izuku, let's say. Because, who's, I guess. I don't know. Damn it, I hate when this happens. I have to pay attention to my fucking phone. Anyways, they get in and they sit. And since Ida is friends with them, he's kind of a little bit, doesn't really care about the rules that much more. Right? And yeah. And, hold on. Okay. And pretty much, when Izuku was talking, Ida said, "Shut up, I'm trying to listen." And then Ida asked about the 0-pointer. And they talked about it. And Mike said, "Oh, yes, thank you for reminding me." So yeah. Yeah. Here we go again. Okay, sorry. And yeah, pretty much they all divided up. And Tsuyu was in Izuku's. Right. And yeah, people noticed that Izuku had the hat on and kind of a suit on. Right. It looks like this. Pretty much he's wearing this, and yeah. Izuku was thinking, since whatever they're going to fight, maybe he could use his jokers. He doesn't know for sure though. So yeah. And when then Izuku remembered that they're robots. So Izuku said, yeah, I could use my Joker against these guys, but pretty much any villain I cannot. Right. And he had, when Mike started saying, on your mark, and Suyu was talking to him, and she got ready quickly. Right. And yeah, they got ready and went for it instantly. Right. And they ran. And Izuku saw 3-pointers with Suyu, and he sent out a Joker, and he said, hello. So you finally want to use us? And he says, yeah, take down the robots now. Right, and he says, perfect. And Izuku saw a 3-pointer. He said, don't leave that one. And Izuku used puppetry magic. Right, so Izuku's controlling it while he's attacking. Right, and the robot's attacking others. And Izuku finally got rid of it. Right, and yeah. They were, and it's like a 50-minute thing, let's say. So yeah. They were fighting like hella bad. Suyu was helping Izuku, and Izuku was helping Suyu. And let's say Izuku heard Uraka saying help, right? And he ran over, and Suyu did too. And he saw that the 0-pointer was coming. So he said, Suyu, get her out of here. And she said, what about you? He said, please. Right, and she said, fine. And she ran. Well, she got a rocket, but she was having trouble, so Izuku saw him, and he got out the other Joker and said, get him. Right, and the Joker slashed with its scythe, as you see in the photo, and it destroyed it. And the teachers sent in 3 more, because how easy that was. Right, and and pretty much the Jokers were attacking the 0-pointers as they got out. Right, and Izuku had his cards, and he kept throwing them at robots that are in Suyu's way. And Izuku finally used his rabbit, we call her. And if you guys give me a name that we're gonna use for her, okay? If I don't get her name, I guess in this, I'll just call her something. And oh no, I might have actually got rid of it. Fuck. Oh no, there it is. And she came out with a hammer and pretty much started destroying robots in their way. So yeah. And the teachers are shocked how strong Izuku is, because Izuku could pretty much take on all the robots by himself, pretty much. Right. And yeah. And the 0-pointers and Izuku's Jokers finally went back into cards, and Izuku collected them quickly, and pretty much like the cards flew back, and he put them back in his pocket and patted them down. And he dipped to catch up with the girls. And hold on, give me a second. So yeah, and Izuku finally caught up with them, and Recovery Girl came out, and she healed up them, and she said, Izuku, and then she looked at Izuku and said, are you hurt? And he said, no, I'm okay, ma'am. She said, that's good. And let's say not a 0-pointer, a 1-pointer was about to hit Recovery Girl. And Izuku pretty much turns his card into a little he just pretty much cut it by holding his 2 fingers in. Pretty much the card extended and sliced it. And she said, oh, thank you. I didn't know that they attacked me. He's like, it's okay. And Izuku saw other people were having troubles with some of the robots, multiple robots around them. So Izuku started heading out to help. So yeah. And time was up, and Izuku was actually exhausted more. And his rabbit, actually I'm gonna give her a name real quick. She's gonna be called Yui. No, Lily. No, yeah, Yui. Yui, it's gonna be. And Robbie pretty much went to go get Izuku and said thanks for helping them. And he said, yeah. And he said, how many points did you get? And she said, well, I got 59. I think I should be good. Plus the written portion, I think we should both be good about that. Right. Thanks to Shoto, Momo, and Ida, and your help for doing that. And he's like, yeah. And they meet up with Momo and all of them. Right. And they dip, pretty much. But before they dip, let's say that Nezu said, Izuku, can we talk to you, please? And Izuku said, yeah, you guys could go ahead. And they said, no, we'll wait. He said, no, it's okay, guys, just go ahead. And they say, okay then. And they left. And Izuku said, yes, do you need me? And he says, yeah, what's up, actually? Right. And they said, he said, well, with your immense power, your mother, Mirko, said that she was being a teacher. He said, yes. And they said, okay, thank you, but question. And they said, and he said, yeah, what's up? And he said, and as you asked he asked a weird question. He said, do you know the girl that looks like this? And it was a photo of a rabbit, of his rabbit. And he said, oh yeah, that's Yui. And he said, so we don't have her records. Do you know, and how, and he said, did you see her during that? He said, yeah, I summoned her. And he said, wait, what? And he said, it's part of my quirk, right? And he's like, oh, okay then. And yeah. And Izuku caught up with them somehow. And they asked if they want, and Mirko said, pretty much texted Izuku that they're not gonna eat, that she's not making the food, but you could go get ramen or something, right? And he said, okay, and dipped. And
Hey guys, want cool anime merch? Then go check it out, link in the description, and enjoy the video.
Yeah, that's annoying. What the fuck? Sorry. What is this? Give me a second. I'm trying to look for music. I thought this was a song. Okay. Where was I? And yeah, pretty much they all ate. Izuku paid, and Tsuyu was sitting by Izuku. And Izuku noticed this, and he was blushing about it. Give me a second. Okay. Where was I? And yeah, pretty much, no one noticed, and they just ran, I guess you could say. And it's been a week, right? And they finally go to school. The first day, Izuku walked in with them because they contacted each other and saying that they all got in the same class, surprisingly. It's not surprising, it's called plot armor. So, yeah. Did you guys hear something? I didn't. Must have been something. Anyways, they got in, and they all said that was a big door. And Tsuyu got to sit by Izuku. Oh, and I should go ahead and say this. Today I'm also making another video, pretty much, and it's going to be called like what if Deku was in this anime, and I'm watching it right now, pretty much right now, and they just have a music video attached with it. So yeah, I'm probably gonna make a video about this today, probably. Don't know for sure. So yeah, back to thing. I might make Izuku look like this, and this might be his ability or something. Who cares? And yeah, give me a second, I think. And yeah, when they got in, Izuku sat down, so did them. And Bakugo hasn't met Izuku, so he's never really seen Izuku's eyes, nor his dash face, right? Bakugo came in and he sat down with his feet on, and Ito was about to say something, and pretty much Izuku grabbed him and said, "Just sit down. You don't want to bother anyone, right?" So yeah, and and everyone started coming in, and Ochako finally came in. Let's say, right? Ochako came in, and saw Izuku, and she blushed a little and said, "Oh, hello, I know who you are. You're the one that helped me when I was falling and protected me when I was trying to get out, right?" And you said, "Oh, yeah, but it's not my, I didn't really help. That was mostly her, and he wanted to see you." So, yeah. And yeah, everyone finally got in, and Zawa came in finally, and they just, Zawa said, "Well, go get the thing, go get ready for the get outside, right?" And that's what they did. That's what they did. And we're gonna go into the girls' locker room this time. And Suyu pretty much was talking to the girls, and let's say Otaku brought up that Izuku was pretty cute. And Froppy blushing about this because he knows that she knows that it's pretty true. Right. And yeah. Um where was I? Trying to remember where it was just a second ago. Oh yeah. And trying to remember. Hold on, I'm trying to remember something. Yeah. And they kept talking about Zuko. And then out of nowhere heard his they heard Izuku say, "Sorry, girls, if you heard something smack, that was me hitting Mineta, or one of the students, because they're trying to peek on you." And he said, "There's a hole, so yeah." And put he pretty much the girls moved some stuff where it blocked it. That's what they did. And when they got out, they saw this boy with gray, weird hair, pretty much. You know who it is, if you know. The perv of the school. Yeah. And they said thank you to Izuku. And he said, no, don't worry about it. And Mirko's there. So yeah. All girls are the same. Hey, I don't love you now. All girls are the same. I don't need you now. All girls are the same. Yeah, inside. I don't know wanna live or die. And right, sorry. And Izuku was listening to music because I like making people listen to music. Right, and they said, and right, Bakugo doesn't know Izuku. And as Miracle said, since my son got the highest score, and they're like, wait, who's their son, and except for Ida and them, because they know who her son is. And she said, "Come up, let's go." And Izuku stepped up and said, "Geez, you don't have to call me your son. You could just say Izuku, you know." And she says, "Is that Sass?" He says, "No, mother, no." And Izuku got ready, and he said, "Wait, can I use my rabbit to do it, or do I have to?" And she said, "Just you do it." He says, "Okay." And he pretty much got a card out and made it bigger and wrapped it around the ball, and everyone was confused. And then he just threw it with not that much force, and it went flying. And everyone was shocked about this, right? No one really knew that, how strong that throw was, because they thought it was a weak. So yeah. And yeah, everyone was just shocked about it. And they finally got through. They got through and everything. And I'm gonna do something else soonish. I'm probably gonna I know what the next video is gonna be. So yeah. Question. Hold on. I'm trying to remember. Think of something. I'm trying to think of something. Trying to think of something. Oh yeah. And let's say they had to do that 50-meter dash thing, right? And Bakugo had to go against Izuku again. But then he said, "Okay, I'm using this." And he pulled out, well, his rabbit. And she was sleeping. And pretty much he yanked on her ears and said, "Wake up. Come on." He said, quiet. Right? And he said, "Are you not going to do what I ask you or what?" She said, "Fine, but let me go back to sleep after this." He said, "Go ahead." Right? And she came out and rubbed her eyes. And Bakugo was confused. Everyone was confused. And the girls were kind of pissed off that Izuku had, well, a girl right then and there. Pretty much, right? And yeah. And, like I said, she ran and she was fast as crap. So, yeah. Sorry, that's just a thing that happened every like Wednesday. They're always testing out sirens. So yeah. So yeah. That was my controller, sorry. Yeah, so she won that, and Bucky was pissed off about it. And she went back in the hat, pretty much. She just jumped in. And yeah. Is like, "Okay, what's next, mother?" And everyone's still shocked about that. And some people don't believe him, or believe them. So yeah. Even though Mirko said that, but Sorry. Um.
Watch live and local news on a variety of networks, with YouTube TV. Try it.
I'm really dull on this series. If you guys have any ideas, please tell me. And yeah, okay, I'm just gonna skip this now. Pretty much they got done with it, and Azawa was told them that it was a joke, and then Izuku said, expel Mineta, he's a pervert. He tried to sneak out the girls, and he said, well, that's good enough. And Mineta got expelled because of him. And Suyu said thanks again. He said yeah, and and then Izawa said, wait, does everyone have their costumes out and ready to go and stuff? And he had just asked, did everyone send in their costumes? And they said yeah, we did. Says good. Um, hold up. He's not my puppy. Okay, my puppy doesn't love me enough that he stays with me. Get over here. Yeah, get in there. Sorry. Oh, no, there. Wait, no, never mind. Sorry. Anyways. Where was I? Yeah. So, the next, I guess you could say, next out, they just said, yeah, we did. They said, then he said, good. You're gonna need it for probably your next class. And they said, okay. And, yeah. Um, so, yeah, that happens. And pretty much they go to lunch, and Suyu sits by them, and Shoto and Ida sit by other people. And pretty much all the girls are sitting with Izuku. Right? And Izuku doesn't know why, honestly. And they were asking him about that rabbit girl. And he said, oh, yeah, I need to feed her. I actually need to feed her. And he said, do you want food or not? And she jumped out and said, where? He said, here's my tray. And she said, thank you. And she pretty much ate it. Well, was eating it. And they said, what about you, Izuku? And he said, I don't really need to eat right now. Right. And yeah. He says, I gotta go check on something, and headed into the teacher's lounge. People saw this, and Mirko said, oh, hey kid, what you doing? Right. He says, my rabbit's eating. Where's my lunch? She said, it's right there. And she just said, it's right there, and Izuku came out with food. And they said, I thought you didn't need to eat. He said, well, I didn't right then, but when I got in, I did. So I'm hungry now. And he was eating. And he sat by Suyu, and yeah. Momo wasn't there, just so you know, so, yeah. And, yeah. And Izuku, in usual clothes, I'll show you what he looks like, but, yeah. And they finally got to All Might's class, right? And I'm just gonna say that Izuku has already mastered him, this guy. And this guy has, let's say, that his cards are explode, that he can make the cards explode. And they pretty much come back instantly. Hold on, my dog. This is Trouble Wobble Dog. Oh god, you're wet. You're a wet dog. Oh, nope, you're going back down. Bad, I don't know wet dogs. No, you're not getting me wet, you wet dog. So yeah. Sorry about my doggo, my little doggo. Oh, you're a beautiful doggy. So yeah. Um. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah. Pretty much They all get there, and Ome it says the exact same thing. And then he got costumes, and everyone was pretty much changing in their rooms, and everyone saw Izuku easily get changed. And he fixed up his costume and walked out. Suyu had her same thing, and those two were the first ones. Then everyone started coming out, right? And yeah, the girls saw his costume, and they were kind of shocked. And Suyu and pretty much all the friends didn't care really. Suyu was just hanging out with Izuku, talking, and then All came out, and he looked at everyone's costumes and said, "They're all nice." And then he said, "Izuku, what is yours?" And he says, "Oh, eh, not just really a suit and my hat." He's like, "Is there any support to it?" And he says, not really. It's hard to get through, I guess. I have a pocket. What am I supposed to say here?" He says, "What about your hat?" And Zuka says, "Oh, this has always been on me." Right, and Bakugo says, "What a dumb costume." And then he says the person that looks like an angry Pomeranian right now. Right. And Bakugo said, "What the hell did you say, kid?" Right, and he was starting to charge at him, and Izuku pretty much said, "So what are we doing, all right?" Right, and he said, oh, yeah, well, we're doing, what is it? The heroes versus villains, right? And they're like, "Oh, nice, nice. Very nice. Moist also. Very moist." So, yeah. And, yeah. Pretty much, he got teamed up with Suyu, and whoever Uraka was teamed up, or whoever Suyu was teamed up with, Uraka is teamed up with them. So, yeah. Yee. And, hold on. Okay. And pretty much, and my dog wants to get back. Okay, come on, dog. Come on. Come on. Come here. Give me a second. Oops. Okay, we are back from breakfast. I'm kidding. Anyways, so I know. Oh, and I just want to say I know one of my fans live in New York because they said "Good morning, New York." So, yeah, I guess good morning, New York, or good night. I don't know what you want me to say. And pretty much, they went against Ida and Bakugo. And Bakugo, no, not Ida. Let's say they went against Shiro and Bakugo. And the Zero put tape everywhere up. Right? So, yeah. And, yeah. Zero put up tape everywhere and around the bomb, so, yeah. And Izuku said, "Suyu, climb onto the walls and see where they put it." And she said, "Yeah." And they waited outside, and Suyu said, "I located where it is. It's on the 5th floor, right? We could go from the roof if you want." And he says, "Oh, perfect." And Izuku took off his hat and jumped into it, and threw. And pretty much the hat went up top, and Suyu was climbing up, and he pretty much had, like, what is it? The flags or whatever tied up to the pole so he could help Suyu get up faster. And he said, "Here, let's go." And she said, "Okay," and pretty much grabbed onto him. And Izuku said, "Grab onto my back quickly," right? And she's like, "Oh, okay." And yeah, so yeah, that happened. And yeah, they pretty much just did that. And they got up, and when they opened the door, Sarah's tape was there, and Izuku said, "This is a waste of time," and cut it instantly. And he was pretty much cutting through everything. And then you had Zero blocking the, thing. The bomb, whatever. Right. And, yeah. And pretty much... Hold on. Yeah. And they pretty much took down Zero. But before Zero got taken down, he said, "Hey, they're up here. They're here already. I thought you were supposed to be on them." He said, They never came through. I'm literally on the fourth. He's like, "I'm on my way. I'm on the fourth floor." Bakugo was saying that to him. And yeah, he gets there and Zero's already down. Right. And yeah. And they both go. And Bakugo was trying to fight. Well, you know who. Trying to fight both of them. And Izuku was threw a card out and it was just a, what was it? I said something like that was the night. And Izuku sent that one off against him while he went to go to the bomb. And Izuku was really close to the bomb, right? And then Bakugo threw Suyu at him, at Izuku. And he said, "Suyu, you okay?" Right? And Suyu said, "Yeah, he just hurt me a little bit." And Izuku threw a card that defended her, right? What was it, like spades or something? Joker or Jack? And Izuku pretty much got his rabbit out and said, "Hey, we need your help now." And she got out and said, "What?" And then she saw Bakugo and he's like, "Oh, him again, okay." And she started attacking him with her mallet. And that happened. And they pretty much ran. They ran off like that. And Izuku then he threw Suyu into there to get him away. To get her away. And he pretty much threw his hat outside the window. And now Izuku is hatless and just has his cards. And Izuku ran towards the bomb and almost touched it again, but Bakugo hit him with that big explosion. And the rabbit got out of the way of it. And pretty much Izuku was still standing. And then Izuku said, "That's enough." And threw like 5 cards at him, and it started exploding at Bakugo. And he just pretty much kept throwing his cards at him over and over. And it almost like, "That's enough." And Izuku stopped right then and there. But yeah. Oh god. So yeah, that happened. Hold on. So yeah. No. So yeah, I'm sorry. So yeah, where was I? So yeah, that pretty much happens. Right. So trying to think of something. And yeah, and then they see Bakugo hurt, actually, from these explosions. And everyone was surprised how many tricks Izuku has. Bakugo went for another attack, and Izuku said, "I'm tired of this," and just touched the bomb, and said, "The hero team wins." And they talked about the MVP, and they said that the MVP was 2 people, and that was the hero team. And some people asked, wait, why Izuku though? Right? And then he said, well, if you look at the building, he didn't damage it. He only damaged the opponent. Right? And they said, oh, true, I guess. So yeah. I'm gonna end it there. So yeah. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll make another video soon. So yeah.